What's going on, my fellow mech heads? It is Saturday, September 15th. Today is going to be a full mech build day. Probably going to do 24 hours of this. I'd like to stream it, but I just don't have the capability to do so. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, because I can't play D&D today, which was the plan. Not going to happen. A whole bunch of wargaming tournaments going on. And yeah, I've got the camera in my hand. It's not on the mount today. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to build, what I hope to build within the next 24 hours. Also, I'm going to change the name of the Mecha playlist to the Mecha Bay. The Mech Bay. I honestly can't remember offhand who mentioned it in one of my Gasland video, but I do appreciate it, sir. I do appreciate the comment, and I do think it'll work better for this portion of it, because this is Mechhead Studios and it was intended for Mecha. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on to what we're going to be building today. And I'll be doing light adjustments as always. So, first up, I might have to turn off, let me turn off the flash here. There we go. So first up is going to be these old Macross VF1J mini kits. I've got two of these. These were given to me by my brother from another mother, Scott. Scott, you know who you are. I'm actually probably going to start doing a collaboration videos with Scott also. When it comes to various builds. Probably going to have one big channel going on. Yeah, these are the VF1Js. These are very old kits. I don't even think there's a date on these things. Very simple little kits. I've had them here for what, 4 years, I think? And I decided, you know what, after doing those Strato minis, I'm going to go ahead and get these taken care of. But yeah, there's no date on here. Probably going to go with the classic white with red and blue. Though, I might do one in an alternate color. Not sure yet. Speaking of Strato minis, guess who just fell? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and paint the Scorcher. Came to find out a paint scheme that I really liked on it. It was like a panda paint scheme for this mini. Was done by one of the artists at Strato Minis, and I got this picture like a long time ago, a couple years back, on I think it was DeviantArt, or somebody had posted it up. So I'm going to attempt to do that on this. It should be fairly simple, so he should be done here shortly. So another one, had this for about 3 years. This is a Pla-Act. Oh, I don't know why it's not focusing. It was just focused on there. There we go, Pla-Act option series. Basically, you could build these 5 variants off of this one sprue. Really interesting kit. I just bought it spur of the moment off of HobbyLink Japan. It was like on sale for $2 at the time. Looks interesting. I've only seen like 2 or 3 videos on it, so I might do a separate video on this itself. But it doesn't come with any weapons as far as I could tell, just these 2 arm shields, one of which, and let me flip it over to the back. You can use one as like a, I don't know what they're called, so forgive my ignorance, but those rice paddy hats that you've seen in movies in Asia, when they're using the rice paddies, and work in the rice fields. They're awesome hats. I actually use one when I work outside, doing yard work and whatnot. So yeah, so this is it. It looks like it's fairly simple build, but there's a lot of variation that you can do to it. Not sure which head I'll use. Most likely I'll use this one with the mono eye, but I'm half tempted to use these also. But since it doesn't come with a weapon, I've got this other thing from Pla-Act. This is a bow and arrow, more or less. So that should look cool with it. This is going to definitely be a female form build. So I'm going to be using a lot of light colors. Probably no weathering on it. Probably most likely white with some pinks in there. Maybe some purples also. Because I'm sure my daughter will express some interest in this. So this will be cool. And I'm running out of space here. Next up is going to be the Leo. Remember when I got the Leo? So this is the new tooling of the Leo, the Gunpla Evolution Project version, the one that was recently released. My friend Todd, Master Guns, you know who Master Guns is. He built one. He did it like in a gray color. So I'm gonna do I'm actually gonna start doing my Zaku team And I've got some paints up here. I've already started selecting the paints. So the base color is basically, I'm just going to use the NATO green on it all over the place. And I'll show you a tip on this here in a second, because you can see it's not mixed up. See, the primary color is going to be NATO green. This should build up pretty easily. I'm going to have to use some aluminum. Use the aluminum for the back of the faceplate back here, because this is a clear plastic orange, but if you don't put something light behind it, it's not going to reflect very well. So I've found that this aluminum actually does do a great job of doing so. I may use the Moliso Pro pen, not sure. Still debating on that. So yeah, I'm finally going to get through this GNX Striker. Again, it's also going to use the NATO green. So the colors I have set aside for this, this is why they're all up here. NATO green is going to be pretty much everything. Everything is going to be NATO green. The lighter green colors, which you can't really see in this image, I decided I'm going to go a little bit differently and use the Russian interior turquoise green, just to be different. It does have a sensor back here, which is covered up by the gun right now. So that's going to use a blue violet, because that's very close to the color. I think it's actually the exact same color. And of course, anything that's got, you know, plastic parts clear that need to go over, just going to get the aluminum. Some of these inner frame parts, like right here, I will be using burnt iron, Vallejo metal color burnt iron on those parts there. Gray parts that absolutely have to be gray, Vallejo Game Air Stonewall Gray. And I'm debating on using this for the gun, because the gun is supposed to be a light gray, but I honestly think I'm just going to go with the burnt iron on it to give it a metallic look. As far as priming, I don't need to prime it because this is a surface primer. One shot and you're done. So basically assemble, put the parts on some pegs, airbrush, and we're done. Alright, so that's that. Now a lot of these colors I'm going to use for other builds also, because I am going to finally get to the Gastima. Now I got this Gastima when it first came out. I actually already primed it a long time ago, and I just never got around to doing it because of things. So for the Gastima, I'm in a bit of a debate, because the primary color here is sand. It's supposed to be sand. So I've got Vallejo Game Air Desert Yellow, which I think will complement it well. I think it's a pretty good match. But then I was thinking of using just the model color Iraqi sand, which is much lighter. Now this is supposed to be like some weird yellowish sand, very light colored sand color. I have not been able to duplicate that color, so I think I'm just going to keep these white, these shoulder pieces. There's various pieces on here that are actually this color. I think I'm going to do these white. Its weapon has one little piece that's like super bright off color, like a pink. I don't have that pink. I can't make that pink. So I'm just going to try the Vallejo Mecha Fluorescent Orange Fluorescent, whatever they call it. So I'm going to try this out. I haven't heard too many good things about this color line yet. So we're going to see what happens. And to tie everything up, anything that needs to be black, I'm just going to stick with the black gray by Vallejo Model Color. Just going to stick with that. Makes it a little bit more uniform, more in-universe, so to speak. And that's that. So that's the plan. Now I'm going to show you a trick for your paints. How to shake your paints. Now I'm going to pause this real quick because I got to set something up. Alright, so you see this thing, you're probably like, what the hell is that? This is part of a rock tumbler. Picked up a rock tumbler at my local thrift shop last year for like $5, and surprisingly it worked. So you're probably wondering, what do you use this for? Why do you have bubble wrap in there? Well, when I actually do plan out builds and plan out the paint schemes. Normally I don't. Normally I just build it and then paint it any way I want. I'll have an idea, but I won't actually get any paints. So, as you can see, this needs to be shaken up, right? Just put it in there. Now, the key to this is you want the lids, well, more specifically, when it comes to your paint droppers like this, you want the lids to be facing the way that it turns. Okay, so this turns obviously to the right, to open, right? You don't want this sucker opening up. So you got to make sure you put it in here, like so. So that way the centrifugal force doesn't pop open your lid. But anyway, so I know it's going to be a minute before I start painting. So I know I need to shake this one up. I need to shake up all my bottles. Alright? So we're going to set it in there. Sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. I think this one I got to adjust it quite a bit. Now the reason why I have the bubble wrap is so that way it can be nice and tight. There we go. Okay, so that's in there. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit crooked or not, because what I've done is, I know some people don't believe in this. I use these things, Water Gremlin split shots rounds. You could get these at Walmart or any fish and supply store. These are titanium. They will not rust inside of your paint. People argue up and down. I've had some paints in here for years with one of these suckers in there just as an agitator, and it works just fine. I have not had rust, not have had anything. So I really recommend these. These are about I think they're like $1.50 for a pack. There's a lot more in here because I combined like 2 or 3 packs over a while. But it comes with 40 of them, which should be enough. Just pick up 2 of them. I mean, real easy, not hard to do. So anyway, so yeah, I know I'm going to use that. Where are my other paints? So the rest, you just kind of stick them in there. Now the air colors, you really don't have to. Your airbrush paints, you really don't have to spin them too much because they're pretty good as it is. But I like to do it anyway. So I do stuff this sucker in full. I think I have room for one more, maybe not. We'll go ahead and put the door aluminum in. I mean, I use the hell out of it, so it's constantly shaking. But we'll go ahead and stuff that in. There you go. Okay, so you don't want this stuff tumbling around. It's packed nice and tight, but just to make sure. You just put that in there like that. You can use tissue paper also, but since we are gamers and modelers, we probably have a whole bunch of that bubble wrap around. So let's take this off the mount. And you get to see the garage again. Airbrush air filter. Just got to set it in there the right way. Just like that. My lid. Set the forward part on, and I'm going to set it just for one day. There we go. It's kind of loud, but that's how it works. As you can see, made a significant dent in the plastic crack aisle. Well, not really. And for those wondering, this is going to be a while before I do the slave one. He's going to sit here for a minute. These two, it's going to wait just a little while. Probably going to do these next week for my daughter. Do one for my daughter while she builds the other one for her channel coming up. Lexington, another one from my buddy Scott, hooked me up. Here's an interesting one, and I'm going to do a video on it by itself. It's the Gradius Vic Viper. You know the video game Gradius, right? The top mountain shooter? Yep, my buddy Scott hooked me up with that too. Because I've never seen one, and it's, I believe, 1/100 scale. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I'll probably do some more updates later. Also for the tanks, guys, my friends who play tanks. For Tanks Modern, I'm going to be using the RDA gunship. This is that real cheap one that was readily available on eBay, but for some reason it's super hard to find now. My buddy John, he had a huge quantity of them, so I just picked up 3 of them from him. I'm going to use them as Hind proxies for the time being until I could start my Hind collection. And this Leviathan, I don't know. It still baffles me. I'll have to do a video on this. I know there's been quite a few videos on this Leviathan Crusader by Dreamforge Games. I'm going to do a video on that at some point. And hell, you know what? Let's go ahead and add this to the list. I already got the paints out there. I'm going to do the purple. I'm going to use that mecha color purple on it. We're going to do this today. I don't remember how to pronounce it. It's the male power armor. The Zentron male power armor from Macross. Yeah, let's go ahead and add this sucker to the list. This is going to be one hell of a day. Macross and Gundam. Alright guys, take it easy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Oh, and there was one other part I forgot to add. So for that Leo, since all he has is the gun, I'm going to give him a sword. MSG Kotobukiya. I can't remember this. I don't think this is the Beast Sword. I can't remember the name of it. But it's MSG number 15. Very simple build. This should be fun. So yeah. All mecha all day. Hit me up. If you got me on Facebook, hit me up. I'll probably keep my Facebook up. If not, you know, like I said, I'll try to do a live stream at some point. I just don't know how to do it. And my only good camera is this phone. So we'll see. Alright, take it easy guys. Hope you have a good one. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Please don't drink and drive, because we like you being here amongst us in the living. It's not Halloween yet, and the crow isn't real. Alright, take it easy guys.